Bernie. And this is Angelo here. And the recipe. Hi, this is Angelo.
Hi, this is Bernie.
And this is Angelo here. And welcome to
Grilling Bongs.
Recipe for today is
Vindaloo. So chicken Vindaloo.
Let's go.
So where are we going today?
So we're going to be going into Cellar today. So that's one of the grocery stores which is closer to our house. One of our very dear friend Harry works there, and he kind of like recommended us to come in because the food there, the veggies there honestly are fresh. So let's go for some fresher content today.
So what do we need for chicken Vindaloo today?
So Vindaloo is relatively a simple recipe. So we don't need a lot of different things, but we definitely need chicken. We need red chilies, like dried red chilies. That's like, important for the recipe. We need garlic and we need onions, and having all of this, we should be good. Again, what I'm making today is my mom's recipe of Vindaloo, but then the most popular recipe of Vindaloo is Vindaloo from Goa. That recipe is a little different from what we are going to be making today, but it's still like, it's going to be mind-blowing. So like, I'm really excited for this. So Vindaloo is actually a Portuguese dish.
Okay.
And that's where it came from. That's why, it's like, it came from, it's a fusion of a Portuguese dish with an Indian dish, kind of like coming together. And then after that, we got Vindaloo. So essentially, Vindaloo, if you break the term up, so it's from Vinha and Alho. I am so apologetic for my pronunciation because I don't know the Portuguese terms, but it technically means vinegar and garlic.
Okay.
So
I didn't know this as well.
So sorry, my bad. It's actually wine and garlic. So wine and garlic. And they used to preserve the meat with that, and then the dish came about with that. But later on, the wine got substituted for vinegar because a lot of people in India at that time did not consume wine. So that's where vinegar started to come in, and here we have Vindaloo for you.
Alright.
And the recipe we make is a Bengali Christian style, but it's very close to how the Vindaloo recipe goes. So
yeah, I remember my mom used to make Vindaloo, and I always used to ask, where is the aloo? Because there is this term aloo in that, but there is no aloo. And my mom used to say, no, this is called Bina aloo.
Yeah, the confusion mostly happened because of the term alho, which means garlic in Portuguese. But again, if you look at Hindi, we have aloo, which goes close to the term. So that's where potato comes in. Essentially, it is a dish which is not made with potatoes, but you can use potatoes because I've seen dishes where you can use potatoes as well. So like I said, this is the beauty about India, is that one recipe can be made in a lot of various different ways depending on which region you're coming from, and the taste would differ, but they would all taste so good.
That's true. I've never been to Cellar. Have you been to Cellar before?
No, actually, this is my first time coming to Cellar as well. From what I've heard, they've got some lovely dips, so that's worth trying out for sure. Got fresh veggies, so I mean that's what the main attraction is for here. It's local as well, so let's go check this out. And again, our friend Harry's there, so if you bump into him, I want to tell him hi as well.
Yes. So we found Harry. Hey, Harry the Puttar.
Are you shooting? we're going to go for a whole chicken today, and then we'll like slice it up into different pieces. We will not be needing the entire chicken at all. We'll just be using a portion of it. This is more than what we need. So,
And
yeah.
we are taking this because of a lot of like different parts you will get from this whole chicken.
You'll get the leg, you'll get the wings, you'll get the breast piece. So like you'll get your favorite pieces.
And promise the finest chicken that you can find it.
Tu samjha na?
He's the one who convinced us to be here to come to Root Cellar. There we go. Really glad that you guys are here.
Harry the store.
Free में धनिया और मिर्ची भी मिलेगा. So now we got Root Cellar's owner Harry. So he's showing us the way.
Is what is so popular over here. These dips, you can see there's a variety of them, and it's supposed to be really good. I've heard this one is really good. I've had this one as well. So I've had most of these guys. And
Yeah,
if you're ever
green
here-
sauce. Nice.
If you're ever here, definitely grab one of these guys.
Okay, let's try that. I have never tried it.
Let's go.
Yes, you will love it.
Yep, your recommendation, you have to go with that one, right? Let's do prayer.
Hey, how much is the bill?
So it's comes to $26.06, but then
Yeah,
again,
so
we
you
have
get
other items that we don't need for our dish, and we also have extra chicken.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, it should be kind of like around maybe $20, 15
Right.
to $20.
Right.
And what is the recipe again? You're making vindaloo, bro. Vindaloo chicken.
Chal, see you.
How পাওয়া যাচ্ছে that 345.
ভাই আমও পাওয়া যাচ্ছে ও মাই গড এটা কি অ্যাঞ্জেলো ম্যাঙ্গোস So one of the things we didn't get, right?
Yeah, so we did not get dried red chilies there. So that's why we are going to go to this other store, which is more like a very local store. It's called Damascus, and they have a variety of lovely stuff there. They've got a lot of Middle Eastern spices. So it's very similar to the spices we use. So that's some place where we will definitely get red chilies, because I know I've seen it there.
Dried
So
red
now-
chilies.
Yeah, so right now we're going to go there. So this is what we were looking for, dried red chilies, which we are going to soak and then make a paste out of it. You can use chili powder, but this just gives you a better flavor and a sense. So what will be key? So for Vindaloo, the most popular meat to use is pork, Ever since I was a kid, I remember like I used to mostly have vindaloo with pork. Other options are beef, there's chicken, you can also use prawns, you can also use veg options, but pork is the most flavorful one. For today though, we'll be using chicken. I got the chicken all cut up, which is good. And I have my veggies ready, but one of the first things we also need to do is we're going to take 15 red chilies, like dried red chilies. We have got warm water around like, I'd say 3 to 4 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna add that there. I'm going to add 3 cups of vinegar here and let it sit for like a few minutes till the time the chili doesn't become a little bit more softer. Then we're gonna make a paste out of this. The good thing about vindaloo is that once you have the meat, you just put everything else in the meat, be it your veggies, be it like, you know, the paste, be it all of the masala which you have to put in. You mix it up, let it sit for like 30 minutes, and then you just start to cook it. So it's easy to make, and there's not a lot of prep also which is required, but it's very light to get the flavors essential. A lot of people use tomatoes, which is okay to use, but if you're looking for an authentic taste, tomatoes is something that doesn't go. So try to avoid tomatoes. So once you've soaked this enough for a while, the chilies are gonna get softer, and that is when you can make a paste out of this. So what we'll take is we'll just directly put all of those guys in. We're gonna put the garlic with it. So all of the garlic goes in. We're going to take a little handful of onion to make a little paste out of the onion. What my mom said was add the onions to the chicken, just like sliver it, but take a little portion of the onion and add it as a paste as well, so it gives a good texture to the cooking, the gravy, when you like, you know, when it's cooked, when it's being made. So like that's why I'm adding the onion here, and apart from that, nothing else goes in here. So now we're just gonna add everything we have here into the chicken. We'll start with the onions first. Added the onions, the paste which we made, that goes in there. Again, red chili, dried red chili sometimes can be an issue to find. So if you don't find that, it is absolutely okay to use chili flakes. You can absolutely use that. If not that, just go for red chili powder. That should do the trick. Here we have all the masalas that we would need. So I've got jeera there, or cumin seeds. I've got 2 bay leaves which I've cut into, like I just broke it up into 2. It's good to break it, then the flavor just goes in better. There is Kashmiri red chili powder here, that is for the color. If you see, I've put very less chili powder. That is because we already had red chilies going in. This is roasted jeera powder which we have. If you don't have roasted jeera powder, you can just do jeera powder for that. Haldi and coriander powder. So like we'll need all of this. So what we'll do now, we've got all of those guys in. Add salt. Add 1 more cup of vinegar here. Remembering vinegar is what gets most of the tangy flavor into the vindaloo. So don't feel shy about using that. So the marination is complete. Now, once you mix it up, you can either just hit directly and start cooking. You don't have to refrigerate and keep it for 30 minutes. I am doing it just so that there's a little bit more flavor which adds on, but there's no it's not necessary to do it at all. So I'm going to do that. Also, in the marination, I used mustard oil. So here comes the cooking part, which I think is the simplest part, because all you have to do right now is just take this, put it in the pan, and just keep stirring it. So like, you know, as we keep making it, I'll show you when you're supposed to add water and when not, but most of the time you do not have to, so there's nothing much to worry about. We'll just add oil and we'll start the cooking process right now. once the vindaloo here starts to give out a little bit of moisture, like it starts to cook a little bit and you can see the little gravies coming out, and also like once the oil starts to separate from the masala, that is when, depending on if it is dry enough or not, you will add water to it, but always in little proportions, because the essence of this cooking is it needs to cook with less water. So it's not going to be a lot, it's not going to be very watery. So you add less water each time and you cook it accordingly. So you don't add a lot of water at once. I'm going to add a little bit. So that much should be good enough. And then you let it cook again. So vindaloo tastes really good with rice. So my personal preference would be to go with rice. Back home, whenever we made vindaloo, we used to also have yellow dal with that. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that combination, but if you have not, you definitely should. It is lip smacking, but if you don't have dal, you can have the vindaloo with rice, or anything else works, but best with rice. Another fun fact about vindaloo is that stale vindaloo tastes so much more better because the flavors go in. Try it stale, like if you make it any day, keep a little bit to have for lunch next day or for dinner next day, or however you might want it, and you see how flavorful a vindaloo can be if you make it like that. It's so good. So I think this is done now. Just gonna...
How does it taste?
This tastes like what mom used to make. So I'm so glad that this flavor has come out just the way she used to make. So I'm excited for this. It's tangy, it is spicy, and that's the two flavors which is very important in this. And the consistency just looks perfect. I think the meat is also cooked. It didn't take us too long to make this. So I'm gonna take this guy out right now because I think this is done. But guys, come on, man. You have to try that. You have to try this, but this is so good.